Now, shall I tell you where the hell I'm at? What's going on, Jess? Mr. Jesse Dollemore. We were John C. Roseman, California. The diary of the griever named John Weaver, which would be me. It's 1:49 in the afternoon for Tuesday, the 12th of September 2023. Sorry about that. Brain fart. Okay. I wanted to try doing this thing as a regular log originally here, so I might as well just convert this into a regular log and include all the nice salty words. Uh, I'm trying to get into school right now. I'm trying to get my mindset into a damn quiz I've got tomorrow concerning the math for liberal arts, as I tried to indicate in the previous video here. And then turning on politics, trying to get my mind wrapped around something else. So yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what's happening on some of these things, and I'm still trying to decipher: is it still worth for me to follow up on the politics or just continue with my academia studies? I still got a creative writing project I'm still trying to finish up for English. The instructor was very clear about what kind of presentation she wants to have for a graphic essay in our class for critical thinking and literature. We're trying to do something graphic essays about advertising and weasel words. You know, for I lost track of the point of view on this damn thing here, Jess. I thought I was also concerned about a subject matter that I wanted to get into more and more. Cruising. Put yourself on a ship for 5 to 7 days or more than that if you can actually afford it through a bank account, if you actually could afford it, and be pampered to death. So going to a land hotel and theoretically being pampered to death and keep paying and paying and paying and paying and paying. Most of this stuff should be included on a few cruise packages, and I keep learning from my cruising contacts out there. Cruising is an evolving and de-evolving, evolving and de-evolving. It's like mutating mass. You don't even know what the hell's going on with this damn thing anymore. But it's something I had to tell to the people anyway and try to bring up weasel words. These nice little hooks and barbs out there, these nice little fishing hooks over here. I'm going to get you into this project over here. And since I already got you, you're reeling into the product here. And then you'll be the product itself. Yeah, I'm having that kind of a weird moment right now, Jess. Then I turn on the news. Doesn't matter where the hell I am. The zeros and ones over the marketing algorithms know which ones I want to see. I can't tell you how many videos I've done this thing on my regular win logs and sometimes not so much win logs out there. That how many times we keep focusing on a topic is how much we're narrowed in and boxed in with all these damn marketing algorithms. And this includes politics, including with the Trumplicant crap going on these days and anything related to it one way or another, including, I hate to say it, but your particular group as well. Some groups I'm still sticking with. Other groups I drop kicked like the rotten worms they are. I'm just flummoxed over the amount of more malfeasance I'm seeing these days. Does Kevin McCarthy actually consider he's going to try doing an inquiry about an impeachment on President Obama? I mean, do they actually understand this damn crap? They must have. They're pretty damn brain dead. I swear to God, they must be brain dead. They have to be brain dead. But no, they want to do it for their own constituents because they want the power, money, and the ego, and that's the system and everything else going on. It's like no wonder the algorithms keep focusing on more and more of this stuff. I'm not quite sure if I'm being programmed more and more into thinking along this kind of line without having an open mind. Come on, Jess, level it. And it has to be somewhere in that logical brain of yours, somewhere. Apparently, you've been around a lot longer in different areas than I have. Or maybe different areas. But you've seen, you've experienced. Politics of back in the 80s and 90s and 70s through the 90s, maybe they were different and maybe they were for those kind of times that they had. Granted, you had politicians using words to beat the living crap out of each other. It's like, okay, let me use this one. It's like me coming over to a particular place where you're at right now, and I'm going to beat you over the head with a paper towel roll just to get my point across. Now, this would be like the 1970s to the 90s GOP. If you ever seen the McLaughlin group a long time ago, this is the kind of soft hitting they would do. With their verbal jaunts and catchphrases and whatever they're doing, they're basically pop, 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 no problem. Or probably get a foam pad or something like that and pop you upside the head verbally. That would be the equivalent. But these days, it's like taking a sledgehammer and says, you either believe or listen to what the hell we're saying, or otherwise we're going to squish your brains out. Squish! Here comes the heavy-duty piece of metal right on top of your head, and there it goes, a concave hole in it. And where's your brain? Halfway across the skull, wondering what the hell happened. And this is the kind of crap that they're trying to pour speed on people left and right. Either you believe in us, or else we use the proverbial verbal sledgehammer on you, and we'll beat your brains out of it with it. We're not going to be nice and soft with a paper towel all padded up in a roll here and keep batting you upside the head. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to take this big, heavy monster, and we're going to do wham! Until you get the point across. You will think, you will feel, you will be. If you hadn't noticed that we already had the same marks up here already because we already had people doing it. It's like a zombie effect. It's a zombie effect. I think they're all zombies. And the followers are all zombies too. They didn't have to be bit, they had to be brainwashed. I listened, I watched. I damn near threw up. I'm not dealing with it. But the thing is, I still want to keep an open mind. I want to see the gray area. I want to see the common points. I want to see an area for debate. But if they can't debate it, and I'm sorry, it's this way or that way, how the hell are we supposed to be able to deal with this? How the fuck are we supposed to be able to deal with this? And to tell you the truth, honest to God, I don't know. This is bullshit, dude. This is absolute fucking bullshit. I mean, come on. We really have to get into the absolutes? I mean, do we really have to get into a not so civil war? A continuation from 1860? I mean, is that what it's going to be taken at this point over here? Do these guys really understand and really that brain dead concerning about what history happened back then? Jesse, you seem to be a very intelligent guy. Please tell me, for the love of St. Mike, you had actually studied a little bit of history. Maybe you would understand about the Civil War, what the hell happened beforehand and afterwards. But actually, what happened during it? Do you understand this? Not exactly about the European crap that we had actually back in the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 40s. One schmuck who wanted to rabble arouse the people left and right. He wasn't even part of Germany, but he made himself part of Germany. Was he the Austrian? And he got those people rebel aroused so damn badly that they followed him like crazy. To the point I'm seeing it right now as it is, in our present time. And some people actually will kill for the name of this asshole that we have right now, who's been indicted all across the board. And he's trying every damn thing he can to get him off the case. He's shooting anything and everything. My God, he's worse than a mobster I've seen on trial last semester. Not last semester, but last century. Jess, if you were in New York, or actually were keeping apprised of New York, surely you were keeping track of how many of the Godfathers were getting their ass torn apart in cases left and right. How long it took for RICO to kick in. How long did it take for the cases to go through? And then convictions. We no longer see and hear about these assholes ever again, except maybe they're dead, either rubbed out or just faded away from history. But we got currently this one right now in our century. He built himself such a mental empire right now as it is. People follow the damn shit and they bought into it because they thought he was it. Yeah, I heard about this asshole growing up. As a teen and also to a young man and to my ancient days of currently. I never suspected this asshole would be that serious to go for politics. I kept telling people, this guy is not qualified. He's not even there yet. I didn't realize this son of a bitch had that much of an ambition and that much of a narcissism and a megalomania going on inside of his skull that he was willing to throw the dice, and he gambled, and he won. And now he's got followers left and right. His Trumplicants, his Surplicants, whatever the hell you call them these days. Zombies? And they believe every word. They felt the government had already betrayed them, so might as well form their own government. Sovereign citizens, I've seen that shit happen before. It didn't work. Oh, it happened over, what was it? Oregon borders? Oregon, Idaho? Not to mention Idaho and a couple other states. I was trying to hear something about this for the last 5 or 6 years. We actually had crap like that going on. Fuck. Now I'm watching MSNBC right now. They're recapping Trump's bullshit. All the lies he kept saying. I won't put you on pause right now while you listen to it for a little bit. So basically what MSNBC was talking about is how Trump loves the autocratic assholes out there in the first place. You heard about Kim Jong-un, a nappy-haired looking freaky dude. Anyway, he went over to Putin with a deal. And Putin's got the deal with him. I'll give you food. You give me armaments. Cool. We can do with that. And Trump, he's supporting Putin in every which way, including the invasion of Ukraine. He blames Biden for the damn shit. He blames Hunter Biden for the damn shit. And so does the other Trumplicans on this shit. We both know Putin is just trying to extend more and more territory. He wants it all. He wants the breadbasket. He wants the politics. He wants everything. He wants his empire back. No matter how long he's going to do, he's going to outlive everybody else. He already took over Crimea. Ukraine's trying to fight like crazy to get that territory back. That was part of Ukraine. Ukraine had originally been part of the Soviet Union when they went out and was capturing territory left and right. And when the Soviet Union broke down and went to pieces left and right, literally, we had these other nations reformulated themselves again and tried to live in the way they wanted to live in the first place. Ukraine wanted democracy. Putin hates democracy. Putin will destroy democracy. He claims that democracy in America is not a good fit because we don't know how to do it. But he thinks he's the author of democracy as he kills his opponents left and right. That's democracy for him. And Trump likes that. But Trump don't like to get his ass kicked. Trump doesn't like for him to be called upon the carpet. Now, basically, the Trumplicants and Trump had sworn an oath to the Constitution. I know we've all said this. You and I have said this, Jess. And everyone else keeps trying to say it on one side of the news. The leftists. But the rightists keep blaming everybody else. They just never accept responsibility, accountability, or transparency. And when they get called upon it, they never bother to acknowledge it. But they have the liberal and Fox News getting trounced left and right because that's what they want, a punching bag. a liberal punching bag at this point over here. But the punching bag punches back. So right now, as we're trying to deal with our own situation here, let's both keep reminding ourselves what's at stake. Actually, we both do know what's at stake. It's trying to get the rest of the people to understand this damn shit. No matter how many times we keep yelling and screaming at them, but this problem, we still have to keep yelling and screaming at them because they're not going to get it. Face it, the Trumplican parties, the Trumplican rallies out there, dude. They don't want to get it. There's no willingness. There's no willingness to have an open mind. They have no open mind. I've lost friends and family over this shit. I have. One person decided they couldn't even deal with the Democrat and Republican Party. They're independent. And they still keep denouncing both parties, but they like to irritate me by keep putting anti-democratic stuff up there. Must be giving her complete thrill on this with my cousin. And I have to keep throwing the shit back in her face. I had a close friend a long time ago, high schooler. We tried to keep contact with each other last time we had. She was so much into Trump, it was not even funny. I couldn't deal with it. I mean, it's one thing talking about GOP politics, but when she crossed over into the Trump land, being a Trumplican, I'm sorry, I can't deal. I lost so many friends over this shit. Family members. I'm not saying I'm a victim at this point. I'm saying I've lost people over to this. I'm not crawling in the streets and I'm not crying in the streets saying, it's their fault I'm doing this. I'm showing up myself to be a male Karen at this point. And it's like, there's got to be somewhere there's communication in English in there, you know, Jess? But you don't understand what I'm trying to say. You know. All I know is your head's been hit too many damn times by the proverbial sledgehammer. You've got a huge indent in your skull. Your brains are splattered in your head, so you can't communicate effectively what you're talking about. And basically, you turn into a Trumplican zombie. So right now, you're worthless. That's the cruelest thing to say to a person. I mean, they got a right to be brain dead, Jesse. Let's face it. We all have a right to be and live as we want to live, including if we're going to be on opposite sides, including if I may pose this to you. Now, let's just say that because of you, one way or another, because something about you, or one way or another, has made me very agitated about you, your thought patterns, your speech, your way of attacking people left and right, or something about you that I don't like. And let's go the argument further on this one here. How dare you? Who do you think you are? I don't recognize you. I don't recognize your authority. I don't recognize anything about you. You're a worthless human being. How would you like that one? He's worthless. Don't you know who I am? I'm me. I'm worth more than anybody else around here, including that worthless Jesse Dollemore. Don't you know my hands are red? They're glowing. And when I touch someone, they're going. Hear the screams of the follower of mine. And everybody loves me for it. Because I'm me and you're not you. And If I had the power, Jesse, I'd put your head right over here. Yeah! Hear the screams of the followers around me. And then I'll hear the screams from you. And then I'll be rejoicing because I am me. Notice the glowing hands at this point over here. Notice the people following and cheering me at this point. I'm a god. Give me a minute to take a breath on this one here. Are you getting a picture here? Okay, throw this at you. Buck Rogers, 25th Century Television Show, Gil Gerard's, Aaron Gray in it. Episode, Planet of the Slave Women, two-parter. Jack Palance as a villain in there. He played the character name of Khalil, a maniac who had glowing hands, and he would touch a person and they'd die. And everybody would be screaming their worship to this guy. And he lived on the adulation. How he got defeated wasn't a laser blast. As Buck Rogers was standing there, being defiant. Everybody else cowered in fear. But he was there because he was a hero. He wasn't afraid. And Jack Palance is going, stay back, stay back, stay back. And you see the hands turn to regular. You gotta love special effects during those days. And then everybody jumped on his ass. I wish to God that would happen to Trump and his followers. Trump would lose his power, and then everybody else would be falling upon each other, either trying to exact revenge or something like that. And the followers are trying to slink out of there. Wouldn't that be nice to see? The Trumplican GOP doing that. Well, maybe in the 2024 elections we'll be lucky enough. Hopefully maybe in the 24 elections that we still have Biden in office, we still have Harris in office, and we have Trump and his followers slinking off into the ground, or maybe slinking off to jail, but slinking off, period. And then we can try getting the country back to a working state again. I didn't say normal. Jesse, there's no such thing as normal in the United States. This country has been going through a hell of a lot of spurts. You just checked history out. Major and even minor events. There's got to be bar graphs linked in with history to see what our peaks and our valleys were. I mean, I could go into political science and they would talk about this like crazy. I could go into a history class and they would be talking like this about it like crazy. But do you think they'd be able to talk about this on the media? Or even the social media? Ignorant bastards. You know what the fun about going to a college when you're a little bit older like I am? You get the maturity, you get the age, wisdom, and then you see how really things are screwed up. Yeah, I was going to use the F-bomb. But fouled up beyond all recognition. Yeah. So now we're seeing this happen. We're now seeing this happen in our lifetime. I mean, it's bad enough we already seen other things. I mean, yeah, I witnessed Clinton going through his crap, and then earlier than that was Reagan throwing Ollie North under the bus. The Iran-Contra scandal. Remember that one? And then after that, you had to have the Clinton sex scandal. And he still did a second term. But there was no major scandals after that. No, we get a 9/11 attack happen, and then our country goes hell in a handbasket in a low valley to another peak to another low valley to another peak, and it just, man, I thought defibrillation in the heart was bad enough, but this crap, holy crap, dude. So, how do we deal with this? How do we understand this? how to deal with this is the question there, Jess. And quite frankly, I haven't got any answers. Not yet, anyway. All right, that's enough for me belly aching at you. And a long term belly ache, anyway. So that's about 25, 26 minutes out of your lifetime there. I'll get back with you later, but, I got 10 more weeks or longer than that of school left in my college term. And then about 1 or 2 weeks of vacation. And then head back to the spring, I guess. No, actually, it's going to be about a winter vacation. Yeah, it's going to be about a winter vacation. So about a month and a half during most of December and a little bit of January, and then back to the grind again. All right.